to clear glass creates a deep blue. Tin and antimony can be used to create white glass, and gold chloride can produce a rich red or pink colored glass. Colored glass is melted in furnaces, just like clear glass, and then is usually rolled into bars for storage and easy application. In order to apply color bar to a bubble, we first need to preheat the color to approximately 950 or 1000 degrees Fahrenheit in a color oven or garage. Once warm, the color is then picked up on the end of a punty rod using a little bit of clear glass as a support. The color is then heated in the 2300 degree glory hole to soften it and make it malleable, while another artist creates a small bubble of clear glass on a blowpipe. Once warm, the color is dropped over the clear bubble, and then using a variety of hand tools or the steel marver, the color is rolled back over the clear in an even layer. This process is called dropping color, or creating a color overlay. Depending on the project, that bubble is then usually gathered over with clear glass and blown into the final form. The finished product may appear to be all made from colored glass, but when viewed in cross-section, we can see that there is only a thin layer of color sandwiched between many layers of clear glass.
So the reason we do it that way is so that we can have a lot of flexibility with color. So we're going to blow 2 bubbles, stick them together, different colors. We'll make this sphere with 2 halves of different colors, and then Mr. Kiley will take it back to his shop. He'll cut them up into these rings, like you see here, and then he'll mount them on the wall for the display. All the colors you see while we're working are going to be distorted from the heat. They're not, they'll look different when they cool down. The orange color you see on Gabe's bubble right now, that's clear glass on the outside, and it's just so hot that it's glowing. So what you're seeing is the glow from the heat, not the actual color of the glass. If you think about your own homes, if you have an electric stove, the burners are gray. When you turn them on to cook something, they get hot, they glow orange. Turn them off, they cool down, the orange disappears, and you see the gray again. Glass is the same way. It's actually the same type of physics. So, get the music on. So right now in the center, that's Gabe Feenan. And he's making one of the bubbles. Gabe is one of our glass blowers here at the museum. He's a very talented glass blower and artist in his own right. Today he's working for the museum. You'll notice that one of the glass blowers is seated to the left of the workbench. He's the person that's blowing. So he's blowing through that steel tube and inflating the glass while Gabe, sitting at the bench, shapes it. So one person blows while the other person shapes it. This particular style of working is very typical of the Venetian style of working. Starting in 1979, a number of Venetian masters came here to the Northwest and began teaching the young Americans how to blow glass. So the way that we blow glass here is pretty similar, not exact, but pretty similar to the way that they blow glass in Venice, because we learned from Venetians. So that's Eric to the left. He's blowing. And Gabe is shaping the glass with that graphite cloth pad. We're basically doing the same thing over on that bench, and then we're going to jam the two bubbles together. Do you guys have any questions so far? Yeah, we don't. The only time we've ever done that is during COVID, because we didn't want to share the pipes during COVID. What? No, I mean it's just not a part of our regular routine. We just put our mouth on the pipe and blow. So right now, Gabe in the center is drilling a small hole in that bubble. We're going to stick another pipe over that hole, and we're going to open up the opposite end. So he's got a regular drill in one hand, just a regular ordinary electric drill, and the bit is a sharpened rod of tungsten. And we heat up the tungsten rod till it's glowing, and then we can actually drill right into the hot glass. Does anybody have any questions? Hi. Say what? I can't. You speak a little louder. Oh, great, great. I'm glad he's got a good fan club. Cool. Well, welcome to the museum. So we're going to transfer that bubble from the pipe was originally blown on to a second steel rod called the punty. Actually a pipe. We transfer it to another pipe, not a punty. The round ovens that you see with the doors open are called glory holes. Can we put up the glory hole diagram? So there's no glass in those ovens. It's just a hot chamber for heating and softening the glass while we're working. It could help to think of the glass like wax. When wax gets hot, it gets soft, but fairly quickly it gets stiff again. That's the same thing that the glass does. So we have a minute or two after we've heated it where we can do some shaping, and then it starts to stiffen, and then we go back to the glory hole and heat it up again. Both the glory holes and the furnaces run on natural gas and forced air. Do you have a question? Oh, that's called the Sofietta. Sofietta, Sofietta. It means, or in Italian, it means a little puffer, a little blower. And the cone goes into the opening and makes a seal, and we blow through the central tube. And that allows us to inflate the glass even after we've removed it from the original pipe. So I think here we're going to go for the big one here, right here. We smush the two bubbles together. And then we're going to blow. That's Emily sitting on the left. She's blowing. And we're going to turn it to the spherical shape. So we'll cool that overnight, and then we'll cut those up in the manner of these, and those become elements of the installation. This process of smushing the two together is sort of part of a signature process by Mr. Kiley. Can we put up some of Mr. Kiley's artwork up on the big screen? So these are some of his individual sculptures, and they're made with the same processes. So these installations are sort of an offshoot of that, his signature process. We're going to wind on a little clear base. The glass yes. Why do you keep spinning it? Because the glass is softer than it looks. And if they stopped spinning, the glass would sag. So that it's kind of constantly falling on center. Even if you watch it very closely while he's holding it still, you can, if you look close, you can see it start to go like that. So this is just about done. Everything that we make here has to be cooled slowly or it'll break. So we're going to take it off the metal rod. We're going to place it in that big black oven over on the left, and we'll cool it down very slowly overnight. If we didn't do that, if we just took it now, put it on the table and walked away, it would cool too quickly and unevenly, and it would break. So that oven is called the annealer, and the slow cooling process is called annealing. We have a mixed team going on here. We have some of the glass blowers from the museum itself, and then Mr. Kiley has brought two of his own assistants, Emily in the white sneakers, and Eric, tall guy in the blue shirt. Hi, how are you guys? Good. Do you guys have any questions? Nope. Okay. Over on the right, we're doing what's called a color overlay. Eric, the tall guy in the blue shirt, is bringing over some colored glass. Sitting at the bench, Nick has a bubble of clear glass, and we're going to coat that bubble with the colored glass. The glass that's in our furnaces is clear, has no color. We buy the colored glass in the form of these bars, and when we want to make a colored object, we blow a bubble of clear from the furnace, we heat up a chunk of the colored glass, and then we coat each bubble with whatever color we want the object to be. Could we play Meet the Artist? John Kiley? We have a little video where you can hear Mr. Kiley talk about his work. It's short.
My name is John Kiley. I'm from Seattle, Washington. Born and raised, fourth generation. So I have two pieces here today. This one right here was actually made at the Museum of Glass in 2008, June of 2008. One of the themes that is common in my work is this membrane between two different sections. Sometimes there'll be a passageway through the membrane to the other side, and sometimes it'll just be solid. The idea behind this work is exploring this idea of connection and separation. I use glass to describe the connection and the separation because of the transparency of the material. You can see through from one side to another. You'll rarely see opaque colors used in my work, and that's because it's important for me for there to be transparency in the form.
Is that loud enough? Can you hear it?
The form is not just about the exterior, but it's about what's going on in the inside too. Part of what I intend to do with the residency is push the scale, try to make these a bit larger, which is only possible with a facility like the Museum of Glass and with a big, skilled team, and also increase the number of sections. Right now, I've made them up to 3 sections, and I hope to experiment with making them up to 4 or 5 sections, and then cutting away perhaps the sides and creating whole new forms. Again, still rooted in the sphere, and still rooted in the connectedness and separation, but totally different. It's really important as an artist to have an environment to be able to come and work in where you can experiment and you can push new things without financial consequences. As a glass artist in particular, for me to make my work outside of a facility like the Museum of Glass, it runs up to $2,000 a day. So there's pressure to produce in a situation like that. With a residency like the Museum of Glass offers, you can come in, you can just focus on your ideas, you can focus on making your art, and there are no other places where that's possible. And looking forward to a great week.
Mario, huh? What did you draw?
What did you draw? A race car?
A race car? Cool.
Go one row up.
You guys have any questions?
Do you have any questions about how they make the glass? No?
You don't have to.
Their question out there was, how does it become a color?
Colors in glass. The colors in glass come from different metals dissolved in the glass when you first cook it up. There's a metal called cobalt, and if you cook it up with cobalt, you get blue glass. There's a metal called chromium, and that gives you green glass. So different metals melted into the glass give it its color.
Very cool.
So in the center, you can see Ben. Ben's the man sitting at the workbench. The tool in his hand is called the jacks. He's making a sharp crease in the bubble. That crease is the place where we'll be able to break the bubble away from the metal pipe once we're done shaping. So Gabe's seated to the left of the workbench. He's the guy that's blowing. He's blowing through that metal pipe, the blow pipe, and inflating the glass as Ben, sitting at the bench, shapes it. So now we're going to drill a small hole in that bubble. The drill is an ordinary electric drill. The bit is a sharpened rod of tungsten. We heat up the tip of the tungsten rod till it's glowing, and then we can drill right into the hot glass as we're working. We're making that hole because we're going to put another pipe over that hole. So we'll be able to blow in. We're going to attach the second pipe over that hole that we just drilled. Make a little notch there so that we can have a place to break it off later. We'll drip a little water. We want the glass to break. Give the tie pipe a tap, and off it comes. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah. No. Well, these guys are pros. These guys are professionals. They have, I don't know, between 25 and 30 years blowing glass. So they know what to do. Yes. They'll talk about, well, you make the orange bubble and I'll make the blue bubble, and then we'll stick them together. But all the details of who's where, when, stuff. If you're a professional, you know how to do that. The torches allow us to focus the heat in a particular place. When we put it in the rig ground oven, it heats it up generally. If we need the heat in a particular place, we use the torches. So we're getting ready to join the two bubbles together. Press the two together. Hot glass sticks to hot glass. Once you've got them good and stuck and situated, then we'll blow and inflate that form back up to the spherical form. So these will get cooled down overnight, and then they'll get cut to make these rings with the multiple colors, and the rings will become part of the installation, the wall-mounted installation. Can we put up the installation shot? So this is an installation that he did here a number of years ago, but he's doing another installation for a private client. It's going to be, I think, much larger, but it'll be made of these same kind of elements, made the same way we're making them today. We're going to add a little base to this. We'd wind on a little pad of clear glass. The orange color that you're seeing is the glow from the heat, not the color of the glass. So the glass that we just added for that little base is clear. And you'll see as it cools off, it'll lose that orange glow. Everything we make has to be cooled off slowly or it'll break. So we're going to take that bubble off the metal rod. We're going to place it in an oven called the annealer, where it'll be cooled slowly overnight. Emily, in the green jacket, has put on some Kevlar gloves, and she's going to carry the finished piece to our annealing oven, where it'll cool slowly overnight. And then Mr. Kiley will take him back to his studio and do the cutting. Do you have a picture of the cut, how it's cut? No, we don't. They use a diamond saw, which is like the saw used for cutting tile or concrete. So it's water cooled. Our guest artist is John Kiley, the man in the dark shirt to the right of center. And we're making these elements that you see on the pedestal. I think it'll be part of a wall installation. Can we put up the installation picture? Get you. So if you look up on the big screen, so we're going to take two bubbles of different colors, jam them together, cool it down overnight, and then they'll get sliced in the manner that you see there, and each one will become one part of this installation. Now the picture is from an installation he did here a number of years ago, but the essential style is the same. We don't have a picture of the new one because he hasn't made it yet. So just to get you started, I'll give you just a very quick introduction to how glass blowing works. Everything that we do starts out in our glass furnaces. The furnaces are the machines where you see the doors closed. There's two of them, one on each side of the studio. Can we put up the furnace diagram? So that's what the furnace looks like inside. So in each of the furnaces, there's a big ceramic pot. In the ceramic pot is 1,000 pounds of melted glass. We keep the melted glass at 2,100 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about as hot as the hottest volcano. And at that temperature, the melted glass has the consistency of honey. So when we want to get the glass out to make stuff, we take one of those steel pipes and we dip it into the molten glass like you're dipping into a jar of honey. We dip it in, twirl it around. A little bit of glass sticks the end of the pipe. Pipe is hollow, so when you blow, the ball of glass blows up like a balloon. Once we get the glass out of the furnace, it only stays soft for a little while. So we do whatever shaping we can while it's hot and soft. And when it starts to cool and stiffen, we go to the second type of furnace, and that's called the glory hole. The glory hole are the round furnaces with the doors open. Those have no glass in them. They're just a hot chamber for heating and softening the glass while we're working. Do you have a question? All the glass that's in those furnaces is clear glass. It has no color. We buy our colored glass separately in a form called color bar. So when we want to make a colored object, we blow a bubble of clear glass from the furnace, we heat up a chunk of the colored glass, and then we coat that initial bubble with a layer of whatever color we want the object to be. The reason that we do it that way is so we can have any color we want anytime we want. If we fill the furnace with blue, we could only make blue things. You know, and that works for a factory, but not for an artsy-fartsy operation like us. So over on the right, we're going to transfer Mr. Kiley's bubble from the rod it was originally blown on to a second steel rod called the punty. We're going to transfer Ben's bubble. Ben is the man in the olive shirt. To another pipe. We'll drip a little water where we want it to break off. The water will crack the glass, and a little tap, and off it comes. Say what?
Why did they transfer it?
Because they want to get to the other side, just like a chicken crossing a road. If I was going to make, I don't have a, oh, I have. So if I was going to make this water bottle, starts out, it's on the pipe, I could get to here, I can get to here, but I can't get to here because it's still stuck to the pipe. So you grab it from the opposite end, break this off, and then you can shape the other side. The glass spheres here, and they'll take them back to the studio and do the cutting. It's with a diamond saw, like you use for cutting concrete or tile. It's configured a little differently, but it's the same thing. It's a metal blade with industrial diamonds, water cooled. I think we're gonna make about 44 of them. Made 22 yesterday. If we make the same today, that'll be 44. Oh, we have a totally different artist here. I don't know who is next week. Mr. Kiley's just working for yesterday and today. Sure. Thanks for coming in, guys. Appreciate it. So we're going to stick the two bubbles together. We jam them together. And then we're going to blow. Emily to the left is blowing. Hi. You guys have any questions? To the right is center. That's Gabe Feenan, one of our resident team of glass blowers. And he's just dipped his bubble into our big tank of molten glass and gave it another coating. Each time we dip it into the furnace and coat it with glass, it's called taking a gather, G-A-T-H-E-R. So sometimes when we're discussing how big we want to make something, we'll say it's 1 gather, 2 gathers, 3 gathers. It just that, you know, that's as many times as we have to dip it in to get enough glass. Cut 'em when it's cold.
Okay. That's okay. So that just means you're done for the heating process.
Part is done. He'll take him back to the studio and do the cutting, and then he's gonna drill a hole so he can mount them on the wall. It's for some fancy private restaurant.
Oh, for a private one?
Residence. There's
Oh,
the
wow.
word.
Wow.
It's not a house, it's a residence.
Okay.
Do you guys have any questions? How close are we to what? I'm going to come up there because I can't hear you. you just came in, our guest artist is John Kiley. He's the man sitting at the workbench on the right. He's a Seattle artist, born and raised. He's working with our Museum of Glass Hot Shop team to make these sculpture pieces. So we're making two bubbles, sticking them together, different colors. They're going to slice them up, and they're going to be part of a wall-mounted installation. We have a similar one, not exactly what he's going to make, but similar. Can we put up the installation shot? So they're going to be mounted on the wall like in the same manner. Thank you, Chris. So we're getting ready to join the two bubbles. Hot glass sticks to hot glass. You squeeze the two together. And then Emily, crouching down to the left of the workbench, is going to blow. And we'll sort of reinflate those two bubbles to make a sphere. As soon as they cut, they're stuck forever. You guys know about our contest for kids? Any kid that's 12 or under can do a drawing. Once a month, we pick one of the drawings and we make whatever the kid drew out of glass. We make two copies, one for the kid to keep and one for the museum collection. Doesn't cost anything, free to enter. There's a table out in the lobby with drawing materials and entry form. You guys want to take a shot at it? If you go out into the lobby and look to the right of the gift shop, there's a display case that you can see some of them. Okay. Yeah. So it's a good deal. There's no money involved. It's just pure talent.
So how many of these spheres are they making?
I think we're making 44, 45. Made 22 yesterday. Let's see what we make today.
So how do they add the color?
The color, five are colored glass separately in the form of these bars. These are called color bars. When we want to make a colored object, we blow a bubble of clear glass from the furnace, we heat up a chunk of the color, and then we coat that initial bubble with the colored glass. And we buy these commercially like, um, like an artist would buy paint. Instead of red paint, we buy red glass. So the two-tone sphere is done pretty much. We're going to take it off the metal rod. We're going to place it in an oven called the annealer, where it'll be cooled very slowly overnight. When she grabs that glass, it'll be approximately 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. At that temperature, the glass will be hard, and we'll cool it very slowly so it doesn't break. Thanks for coming in, guys. Appreciate it. guys know about our contest for kids?
We don't. We were actually looking at the billboard. We know there's a glass class, but we're.
No, it's not a class. It's a contest. Any kid that comes to the museum, 12 or younger, not older, younger,
Okay, that's both of them.
they can do a drawing, and once a month we pick one of the drawings and we make whatever the kid drew out of glass.
How do we get in the drawing?
There's a table out in the lobby with drawing materials in entry form.
Okay.
It doesn't cost anything.
Okay.
And if we pick your drawing, we'll call you up, bring the whole family down, and we'll make it right in front of you. We'll make two of them. One for the museum and one for the kids to keep.
Did you hear him? Are we gonna make a drawing?
Oh my god, I want to do it.
You okay? You guys wanna go do that?
Can we put up? Oh, I was just going to show you some. Can we put up some of the kids' designed stills?
Can you pick our drawings when we make them?
You can.
I can't pick them. These guys pick them.
Okay.
Oh, can I talk to one of them?
Oh, undue influence on the judges.
Look it. See, we saw those in the hallways.
Yeah, can you ask them if they can pick my drawing?
That wouldn't be fair. What about all the other
Look
kids?
it. Look at some of the drawings.
We saw those, they were displayed out
Yeah.
there, right?
Yes, this is
Okay, because we're like, it looks like a kid did this.
exactly.
Do you want to go make a drawing? You are so good at hearts. Do you want to try a heart with some drawings on it? Right now? You guys want to go do
Yes.
some drawings? Okay.
I
Let's go, birthday
We'll be
girl.
back.
Ouch. That looks so similar.
Letting us know that. We're gonna go. I said I appreciate you letting us know. We're gonna
Oh,
go,
yeah. No, let's make the drawing. Do something beautiful.
Hopefully we'll see you soon.
Let's go make a drawing so we can get picked. And then we have to.
So now we're going to drill a small hole in that bubble, and we're going to attach another blowpipe, steel pipe over that hole. We're using an electric drill, just an ordinary electric drill. The bit, however, is a sharpened rod of tungsten, and we heat up the tungsten till it's glowing, and then we can drill right into the hot molten glass. So our guest artist is John Kiley. That's John in the dark shirt sitting at the workbench. Glass blowing is a team sport, so there's all these other people working for John, but we're all on the same page. And we're making parts for an installation that John's going to do at a private home. We're making these spheres with 2 different colors, and then we're going to cut them up like you see on that pedestal. And then, can we put up the installation shot? What?
Well, I've been seeing people welcome you back all day.
Cataract. I had to have 2 cataract surgeries when I was shot.
Oh,
So my vision got so bad.
so when they let you back in? Oh, you got cataract surgery.
Yes.
Oh, why didn't you say that?
Right now, I don't even need, I used to wear glasses. I don't even wear glasses.
Why are you looking at me like that? Are you threatening me?
Eric. 86 Eric.
Well, it would probably a whole new world, huh? It would help my dad significantly.
No, it is great.
How long were you out?
Quite a while because I couldn't get the surgery. I had a, couldn't get it for a while. So I did the first surgery on the 22nd and then second surgery on May 6th. And then need a little time to rise.
I'm sure it's been bright lights and stuff too.
Right now, yeah, my things are might be a little sensitive, more sensitive to light, like when I write for the day. Fine, everything's good.
That's awesome. It's nice to be able to see better. I know it every time I have my prescription. I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
You know, it's good that it was something. Hi, how are you guys? Good. Have you guys been here before? Okay. So we have a guest artist today, John Kiley. He's the man in the dark shirt on the far workbench. And he's making some parts for a installation. Can we put up the installation shot? So you get you a picture here. So we're making a bunch of these rings here that are made out of 2 different colored bubbles joined together. And they're going to be installed in someone's home. This is an installation he did here at the museum several years ago, but it's going to be the same sort of style. So we're making the double bubbles that will make these things. They'll get sliced off. So have you seen glass blowing before? No? Okay. Let's just give you a quick introduction to how that works. Everything that we do here starts out in our glass furnaces. The glass furnaces are the machines where you see the doors closed. If you look up on the big screen, you'll see a diagram. That's what the furnaces look like inside. So in each of the furnaces is a big ceramic pot. In that ceramic pot is 1,000 pounds of melted glass. We keep the melted glass at 2,100 degrees Fahrenheit. 2,100 degrees is about as hot as the hottest volcano. At that temperature, the glass has the consistency of honey. So if you can imagine a giant crock pot full of honey, that's what our furnace is like. When we want to get the glass out to make stuff, we take one of those steel pipes, those are called blow pipes, and we dip it in the melted glass like you dip it into a big jar of honey. We dip it in, twirl it around, a little bit of the glass sticks to the end of the pipe. The pipe itself is hollow, so when you blow, the ball of glass blows up like a balloon. All the glass that's in those furnaces is clear glass. We buy colored glass in various forms. When we want to make a colored object, we blow a bubble of clear glass from the big furnace. We heat up a chunk of the colored glass, and then we coat that initial bubble with red glass or blue glass or green glass. About 20 minutes, 20 minutes and 20 years. 20 years to learn how to make it, 20 minutes to actually do it. So these guys are all professional glass blowers. Both, I think John, our guest artist, Ben, sitting at the center workbench, Gabe with the right there. They've all been blowing glass for at least 30 years. So these guys are full-on pros. And today, we're all working for Mr. Kiley, John Kiley, helping him make these things for his installation, his artwork. Yep, yep. Yeah, yeah. A lot of stuff's going to get moved around. We're opening new galleries. We're opening a gallery for this glass blower, who's the greatest glass blower in the world. His name is Lino Tagliapietra. He's a Venetian master. Started when he was 11. He's now 91. He retired when he was 88. Can you imagine being 88 and doing this kind of physical work? He's amazing. So yeah, we're gonna, what? He went into retirement, he didn't come out of it. He stopped at 88, yeah. Yeah, no, we're gonna do an exhibition of artwork from over his career. We're gonna show his sort of personal collection of his best stuff. Yeah, no, he isn't blowing glass anymore, but I guess at 88 you get to stop. But it's way hotter. Yeah. Drink a lot of water, eat salty snacks, drink beer when you go home. You get used to the heat somewhat, but it's a great winter sport. It's not a great summer sport. Should be in the Winter Olympics. You know, we have plenty of seats. You guys might want to move over to that section. Yeah, you get a better view. No. This way, yeah, this. Yeah. These are like the best seats in the house because you're close to it and you can see everything. I'm gonna. Which one is this? So all the colors you see are distorted by the heat. So both of these bubbles are different reds. But you can't see that now. What you're seeing is the glow from the heat. So we jam the bubbles together. And then we blow and inflate it and make it back up to a sphere again. And those spheres are going to get cut like the things on the pedestal. And then those are going to be mounted on the wall like the installation shot I showed you.
Is it a lot of injuries?
Nope. Well, the injuries are not what you'd expect. They're not getting cut. It's not getting burned. It's not breathing chemicals. It's the repetitive motion injuries. Things like carpal tunnel syndrome from the constant turning of the pipe. So we get little burns and cuts, but much to as might if you worked in a kitchen. You know, annoying things, not medical things. But the repetitive motion, you know, those are real. Are you military?
Yep.
We have a special free class for glass blowing for military personnel. You leave your name at the front desk, contact information. We're just about finishing our spring class.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. We don't do it during the summer, but we'll do it again in the fall. I don't know if you're moving around. If you're being...
Oh, no, we recently moved here, so we have
Oh,
some time.
okay. Yeah. So, well, yeah. Put give me your name. You want to go? It's called Hot Shop Heroes. It's
Okay.
free. It's once a week. It's in the evening.
Okay.
We work with JDLM. We started working with the Wounded Warriors Battalion. You know, it's sort of sort of vocational therapy sort of thing. So we work with guys with PTSD and you know a variety of injuries, of course. But, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take you up on the offer. Yeah, when we leave out, I'll stop by.
Yeah, stop by. Just leave your name at the front desk. Contact email or something.
Nice.
Good. Right.
Do you get like big groups, or is you like what's
No,
the?
about we cut it off about a dozen.
Okay.
I mean, it's a hands-on thing, so you can't have 50 people.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, we usually max out at 12.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, it's fun. It's challenging.
Yeah, I see. I'm trying to. Yeah, I didn't know it, like this was this whole process. Like it looks like it takes a lot of like patience and.
It does.
Yeah.
You know, it's a different kind of skill. These guys make it look easy. It's not, but it is fun and challenging. So everything that we make has to be cooled slowly overnight. So we take it to that oven. That's called the annealing oven. We keep it at a constant temperature all day long. And then at night, it has a little computerized thermostat that slowly turns the temperature down to room temperature. If we didn't do that, if we just made that and put it on the table and walked away, it would cool too quickly and unevenly and it would break. You know what I'm talking about?
I might have seen it, but I can't bring it to my mind.
A circular saw. It has a metal blade, and along the edge of the metal blade, it's encrusted with industrial diamonds. And it's water cooled. And so, yeah, if you see somebody cutting concrete with tile, it's that same kind of thing.
Yeah, I've seen the concrete being cut. It's like a half saw, like the when they put it into the ground to cut it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's a disc, so you may only see half of it, but it's a complete disc. Do you have any questions?
No, I'm good. I like to do this first.
Take it in?
Yeah.
Okay. Hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know if you have any questions. I forgot to say that. So over on the left, it's Gabe with the hat. He's shaping the glass using a tool called the block. It's made out of wood, stored in a bucket of water. As long as the wood is wet, the tool doesn't burn, and it doesn't leave any marks as he shapes the glass. Nick, over on the far right, also he's shaping the glass using the block. It's a scoop-shaped tool. We store it in water, and as long as it's wet, the tool doesn't burn, it doesn't leave any marks as he shapes the glass. You'll notice if you look at both benches that one of the glass blowers is seated to the left of the workbench. They're the people who are blowing. They blow through those steel tubes, the blowpipe, and inflate the glass while the man sitting at the bench shapes it. In the center, you can see Ben in the olive shirt. The tool in his hand is called the jacks. And he's squeezing that bubble down and making a sharp crease in it. That crease is the place where we'll be able to break the bubble away from the metal pipe. When we're ready to remove the bubble from the pipe, we'll take a pair of tweezers, dip them in water. We'll drip a little water where we want the glass to break, and a sharp tap on the pipe, and off it'll come. Ben is marking the center. We're going to drill a small hole in the far end of that bubble. We're going to attach another pipe over that hole a little later. So in the center, Gabe's coming over with another pipe, and we're going to stick it over that hole that we created with the electric drill, and that allows us to blow into the form even after we remove it from the original pipe. We're going to join the two bubbles together. Squish them. And then Emily to the left. She's squatting down to the left of the workbench. She's going to blow. And we're going to reinflate that form till it becomes a sphere again. We're going to wind on a little base. We just wound on a wad of clear molten glass. Now Mr. Kiley, our guest artist, is shaping it. This section, it's just there for utility so we can stand these things up. We're cutting them and just kind of using the middle as part of the sculpture. So we're almost done. Look over to the right, you'll see Emily putting on some protective clothing. She's going to carry the finished glass to our annealing oven where it will be cooled slowly overnight. We're going to tap, off it comes. We'll put it in our annealing oven. And then once it's cool, Mr. Kiley will take it back to his studio and do the cutting. on the right, we're going to do what's called a color overlay. Nick, sitting down, has blown a bubble of clear glass. Eric, standing up, he's heated up some colored glass. And we're going to coat the clear bubble with the colored glass. So Eric's coming over with the color. Drop a big blob of the colored glass on top of the clear bubble. And then Nick's going to heat that up and smear the colored glass till it entirely coats the original bubble. There's closed captioning, but it you know, especially middle-aged folks or older folks, it's hard for them to hear in this with the music and the furnaces and stuff. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. I just don't really think like that. I'd be making stuff up to tell you something rather than tell you the truth. We're making these two bubbles of different colors, and we're going to join them together. All the colors that you're seeing are distorted by the heat. If I want to know what color it is, I have to go ask.
I was just being a dumbass, but I was, yeah. This is scarlet. This is scarlet ruby.
No, I want to get a bar that transparent in the bar form, so when I show it to the audience. Otherwise, if I take an opaque bar, well, it doesn't look like it's black. All the transparent. Well, I'm looking for something that I want to show the folks in the audience that looks like glass to them.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
maybe we should make a clear rod for you.
It's not clear. I wanted to. I'm always talking about how you put the color on.
Oh, so you want like a really light tint?
Well, it's something like that. Something that so that a non-glass person would say, "Oh, that looks like glass."
Sometimes you get more yellow. That looks like glass, doesn't it?
It does, but it's not pretty scarlet.
Oh, so you want like a, yeah.
This is edutainment.
So we have to make something special. Color palettes, stuff it, and then pull the rod for
Thank you, guys. Thanks for coming in.
All right, have a good one.
You too. Take care. You know, when you spell smart, you should do it with an H. So wicked smart.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it is.
Oh, there it is.
That's what it is, yeah. Oh, I would not otherwise have wear shirts.
Oh, I love it.
No, it's the whole, it's just making fun of the accent.
I like it, wicked
Yeah,
smart.
yeah, that's why. Otherwise,
I thought I didn't see it, the rail was in the way.
yeah,
I thought it was
no, totally, totally cool accent.
we can get that.
I went to visit my family last summer. They just had me stand by, I want to say near Faneuil Hall or something. I miss the accent. It's really, really young, but it's very fun.
Yeah, it's like salt of the earth.
Yeah.
It's kind of.
No, you have to sit. Okay? Wait. Makes it stay down. But as soon as you get up, it's gonna flip back. Okay? But that's how it's built. Right? He says he's fast.
You have any questions? Any glass things? We're getting, talking about Boston here. Well, they have different tools. You see that round up there, floral? That's really hot in there. It's like a volcano hot. And they put the glass there, and it makes it soft. And then we have all kind. We have paddles to make it flat, scissors to cut it, but you got to make it soft.
But it's scissors, when they spin it, they also have different things that, yeah, in this pamphlet, it shows the different tools. But that's pretty cool, you can cut it with scissors.
Hot thing you do? Yeah, I get. We made a special kind of glass called porous silicon glass. So if you look to the right, Emily in the green jacket is putting on some protective clothing. She's going to carry the finished glass piece to our annealing oven. So once these, we'll cool it very slowly overnight, and once they're cool, we'll cut these into the ring shapes that you see, which are gone now. Can we put up the installation shot? So we're going to cut these kind of two-tone bubbles in the middle. So we'll have two little halves of different colors, and they're going to get mounted on the wall and lit so that they make colored shadows. See ya. Take care. See ya. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
How you been?
Good. You look good. I heard tales where you look good. Good to see you.
See you. Yeah, they had the Ainsley or whatever.
Sandra Ainsley.
The Ainsley group, yeah, made me go to lunch with them. So
Oh, nice.
that's why I get up during